really good to get back to work. I have missed it. I missed like just mainly, I suppose, being with workmates and the team that we've got, but also talking to the visitors. And it seems like a lot of visitors have also missed being in the V&A. Like a lot of people coming back, they just say it's so nice that it's open now. It's just so nice to be back in the space. It's a little bit different. It's a little bit weird. I was talking to a woman yesterday. She's like, strange times, right? But it's really, really nice that you guys are open. And they've been so, like, the visitors have been so accepting of the new system, like booking the tickets in advance and having to wear masks and the hand sanitizers everywhere. Very few visitors have an issue with it. Pretty much everyone's really, really appreciative of the fact that the whole museum's been made super safe, and there's loads of room to mill around and see everything as you like. And it's not, there's a bit of a one-way system, but it's really easy to get around. And everyone's been, generally really, really accepting of it. And some of the conversations I've had with visitors, they've been really, really looking forward to it opening. There was a couple of older ladies from Glasgow that I talked to the other day, and they'd booked Mary Quant before lockdown, and then during lockdown they were self-isolating, and so for the past couple of weeks they'd gone out into their neighborhood and stuff like that, and they were saying that this is like the first time they've properly left their neighborhood was to come all the way to Dundee to see Mary Quant. They've been looking forward to it for ages. So yeah, it's the museum's works as a kind of special place for people to actually come, and they do miss it, And I was talking to another lady the other day. She'd spent her lockdown actually just keeping busy making masks. She's made something like 200 masks, and she was making gowns for carers and care homes. And she'd also told me she'd made these polythene sheets that were sewn together to like split up a van, so that work people who go around in vans could have the front and back seats separated, as well as the side seats as well, which seemed absolutely crazy. So like a lot of people, just a different way people have been spending their lockdown was really interesting to hear from visitors. But a lot of the most interesting conversations I've had have actually been in Assemble for some reason. I think because currently it's not complete or anything like that. We don't have anything on the structure yet. So if you sort of prompt the visitors and just ask them, if you've got any questions, just let me know, sort of thing. A lot of folk will then ask questions because they do want to know what it's all about. And it seems like a lot of people have a connection with architecture and Dundee. I was talking to one guy who was visiting Dundee because his grandson had just started university, or just about to start university here. And we're just talking about the old architecture in Dundee and his old school, and he was telling me some story about how his schools used to fight each other. But I'm really interested in architecture and the way Dundee used to look kind of before it was knocked down in the 60s or something like that. And a lot of visitors have got a lot of memories of the way it used to look, kind of old Dundee, and that kind of thing. And there's a really nice thing to point them towards is in the McManus, there's like a maquette of what Dundee used to look like before they built the road bridge and before they built the old Overgate Centre. So it's really interesting just the way it used to look, and a lot of memories people have is really, really nice. The other day there was a guy in Assemble again who was just looking at it, and he wasn't quite sure what it was because he looked at the plaster pieces on the table. He's like, oh, so this is about like renovating buildings or whatever. So no, I explained it to him. But then he talked about how he was trying to renovate his house and how it really was hard to find craftspeople who are capable of doing really nice stuff, even like for cornicing in his building. And he was saying how his house had been listed as a listed building without him knowing about it. So he found it like really, really hard to do any renovations to his house because no one had even come around his house and talked to him or anything like that. But they made it listed without his knowledge. So it's like super hard to do anything to your house when it's listed. And he was lucky that nobody went inside the house, otherwise they would have listed everything inside the house as well. So yeah, I don't know. A lot of people are really, like Lucy said, it was really, even though everyone's got masks on and we're like 2 meters apart, we're still having chats and conversations like we used to. And hopefully this doesn't go on for too much longer, maybe, I don't know, a year, I don't know. But people kind of just adapt, and it's just nice to see how people are coming back to the museum and using it pretty much as they used to, albeit with a slightly different set of rules. So it's just nice to see that, I think.